Satellite Stars Assemble. You're building something new in Fall Guys and we need your help. Satellite Stars challenge to earn awesome rewards and help us advance our satellite construction mission. Players starting April 4th. That's in, what, 2 days? New round in squads. Prime Gaming. New Fall Guys launcher on PlayStation console is coming. Added to your library April 5th. I knew there was a new launcher. I couldn't remember what day it was. Oh yeah, we're the Golden Bunger. Yeah, I kind of forgot about that. We are level 25 in the Season Pass. Boots and Cats. Funny Guy. Funny Guy. Oh god, what's that joke where he's like, oh, you must think you're a funny guy, don't you? Mr. Funny Guy. Oh, you're a funny guy, aren't you? Oh, that's a fucking reference to something. Extreme Fall Guys, Extreme Mode, Familiar Courses, no respawns, and then just normal squads. Alright. So yeah, welcome back to Fall Guys, but also the return of In Chat, my weekly podcast-ish show that talks about gaming news, and, you know, what I've been enjoying. So this is the first episode of what I'm calling Season 3. I'm basing it, seasons are based on years. Season 1 happened in, what, 2020? Technically 2019. Yeah, Season 1 was technically 2019. There were only like 2 episodes in 2020. Season 2 started in 2021, and Season 3 starts here in 2022. I do not know, last season I think was what, like 19, 20 episodes? I don't remember. This season, I don't know how many episodes we're getting at, because part of me in the back of my head wants to say that this is going to be the last season of In Chat. Part of me wants to say that, but I don't want it, because I want to replace it with something eventually. But I don't want to commit to that yet. I really don't want to commit to replacing In Chat completely. Not at the moment, anyways. Maybe I'll rebrand it or something. But yeah, I definitely do at some point want to move on to new stuff and different stuff. But for the moment, right, we're here. New season, Season 3. I will admit I did not take time today to make time codes. Normally for like the Twitch, for the VODs on YouTube, I put time codes. Not going to be the case today. I knew I was like, oh, I was going to stream today. And I considered doing it yesterday, but I ran out of time. And then I was like, oh, I'm going to do it today. And yeah, and I would cut close where I was like, oh, I only have like 10 minutes. Oh shit, let's throw this all together. Let's make sure everything works. And it did, so we started. I had to update the PlayStation, because I haven't used the PlayStation in a while. Had to update the controller, had to update Fall Guys. I had to check to make sure there wasn't a new version of the game out already. So if I had to download that probably would have pushed things off. But yeah. So we are the Bunger, but, you know, I've been splatted by ketchup. I think it's cute. I think it's a cute costume. I have not played Fall Guys in like 2 months. Just being totally real and honest, it's been a while since I've done the Fall Guy. Because even though I do really like this game, I just... This season did not enthrall me as much as, like, the previous 2 did. Even though I think this is a better... Because Season 5 was jungle-themed. And I did not care for the jungle theme at all. But I still got rank 50. So this season has also not really interested me. Even though I think the theme is better, I just don't like the levels as much. Hey, Joy128, how you doing? But yeah, I have a different costume for the first time in forever. 3 pears and 2 dragon fruits. Okay. 3 pears and 2 dragon fruits. I actually have to focus on this one. Good. Oh, that's good to hear. Okay, 2 pair. Okay, 3 pairs. I see 2 coconuts. And I see 1... I'm gonna call that a durian. I don't think that actually is a durian, because durians are more yellow. But it's durian-esque. 3 pairs. Okay, 1, 2, 3. I see 4 pairs, 3 durians, 4 of those things. And I think that was 2 bananas. Four pairs. 2 people got themselves out of hands. So yeah, the other thing I will say about this new season of In Chat is one of the things I wanted to do in Season 3 was make it a Saturday night show instead of a Friday night show, because I felt like I always had more time to do the show on Friday. God, didn't we start with a full... Maybe we started only with 40. Still, down to 10? God. But yeah, I always wanted to make this a Saturday show, and I never did. I always was like, no, we're still going to keep doing it on Friday. With the start of a new season, I can officially push it. In Chat is now going to be the weekly Saturday show. So yeah, I've officially moved In Chat to Saturday. God, we're already at hexagons. So yeah, that's the other big change this season, is that In Chat's now on Saturdays. Other than that, I don't really have any other big seasonal changes planned. The structure of the show is still going to work the same. Gaming news to start off with. And then, what I've been enjoying, that segment, that's still the same, Wibby. And yeah. So yeah, the show really hasn't changed that much, honestly. But some things have to change. Some things never change, but others totally do. Yeah, I think hopefully everything will be better on it, because hopefully I'll be less exhausted. I'll have more time. At least I will feel like I have more time. Hopefully. Now, I have not played Fall Guys in a while, and I know a lot of things have changed since then. I know they've added crossplay. There was one bit last time I played Fall Guys where I got stream sniped by some PC players, because that was possible, but now because of the Epic Game Store stuff, you can now officially play with PC players, which I think is a really cool feature. So yeah, now I can play with PC people. Not that I plan to anytime soon, but that's now something you can do. So that's cool. That was one of the features. And eventually the game's going to come to Xbox. It's going to eventually come to Switch. Probably during the summer at some point. So when that happens, that's going to be really cool, because it'll be on everything else. Will I buy Fall Guys again on one of those other consoles? Probably not, because while I do like the game, I did get it for free, technically. And, while it would make sense for me to, since I technically got the game for free, to, actually throw some money the developer's way, because I refuse to buy the microtransactions. I don't know. Technically, they're owned by Epic Game Store now. So, I don't know. I probably should, because, it is important to support products you like. There's a reason I bought in Shovel Knight 7 times. Wait, PC, Switch, Wii U, 3DS, Xbox, PlayStation. That's 6, right? So I guess I've only bought it 6 times. Because I have, even though I've bought Shovel Knight like a dozen times, I've actually never bought it physically before. And I don't own a Vita, so I never bought it on Vita. Yeah, I've bought Shovel Knight so many times on so many different systems. And yet, I've never actually bought a physical copy of Shovel Knight. I always wanted to. And I never did. Did I ever buy it for somebody else? I don't think so. Yeah, no, I don't think so. I was rearranging my desk today. That's one of the things I did today. Was I rearranged my desk? Yeah, I freaking wish my capture card worked on my new TV. Because I talked about this in an Animal Crossing episode. How I got a new TV and my capture card doesn't work with it. It creates static. But I know if I had a new capture card, it would fix that. And that's like, God, do I buy a new capture card just to fix this one stupid problem? Because it's really annoying. But, like, I'm so low on desk room because this new TV is so big and everything. And I now have to make more room for something else. I just don't have the space. I just don't have any space on my desk. So it's just like, oh, God. If I could get rid of, you know, the old TV. Because I know for a while it was really nice to have two TVs. Like, two, like, 720p screens. But, like, I don't think I need it anymore. I think I've kind of not moved beyond it. It's just I don't need that much, like, space anymore. And the yellow color scheme ruins my outfit. Because even though it looks like I've been mustarded now, my face is still red. I have no idea where any of the jinxed people are. I have not seen one of them. Oh, there's one. There's a blue one. Blue's doing a lot better than our team is. Yeah, I didn't play Fall Guys. I just remembered I didn't play Fall Guys for a while because I was having internet issues on my PS5. Yeah, that's why I didn't play for a while. Those sucked. I still don't even know why that happened. And but I haven't touched the PS5 since No, I've touched it once. I've touched it once, and then other than that, I really haven't since Pokemon came out. Because Pokemon took up all my time, and then Kirby just came out. And I will be streaming Kirby maybe tomorrow. I've definitely been thinking about it, that's for sure. Okay. Yeah, I know, because I definitely want to do more Kirby, it's just I've been busy. What can I say? I've been busy. So hopefully we'll get to some more Kirby, because I think there's going to be only one more Kirby stream, because we are in the end game. Oh, nope, we're out. But yeah, I think there's only going to be one more. Even if we don't, like, do the true arena, we're definitely not getting all the capsule figures. But even if we don't do the true arena, I think there's about one more stream in that. Is my thing emote? Yeah, emotes. Yeah. So, let's get into the news, shall we? Some of these stories, I've been writing down, because I was originally going to do an episode of this last week, and it just didn't happen. So, I've gotten a few stories from the past, like, 2 weeks. Basically, since Animal Crossing ended, I've been writing down, I've been like, oh, here's a story I want to talk about. And I was going to do the first episode last week, but then we ended up doing Kirby instead. So, yeah. So the first story is, I think like the day after we finished Animal Crossing. So like the 21st or whatever. The Switch got a new update that added folders to the Switch. So, right, there are two things that people have wanted on Switch for years now. Literally 5 years. Two features that people have thought have been missing from the Switch, and they have been waiting for this entire time. One of them was folders. The other one is themes. Because the Switch has a theme setting, but they have not added any more other than the basic black and white. And that annoys people. People do not like that. Because, again, at any point they could have been doing themes. I mean, the freaking 3DS had themes. I'm sure the Wii U did as well, but I never used the theme on the Wii U. I don't even know if I ever used the theme. I used the black theme on 3DS. And people have been waiting for themes this entire time. Nothing has happened up to this point, so people are pretty disappointed by that, you know. And maybe we'll see something soon, but after 5 long years, the Switch finally has folders. So you can create folders, you can name folders. I have no intention of creating folders. I didn't use folders on the 3DS. I didn't use folder. The only folder I ever created on the Wii U was for like streaming software, you know, like YouTube, Netflix, and all those. Other than that, I did not use folders on the Wii U, and I didn't use them on the 3DS. I mean, I'm sure they're nice. I'm sure they're convenient, especially like I've seen people do like, oh, this folder is for all Mario games. This folder is for all Pokemon games. The problem is, because I got the Switch OLED, it only has the games I've played on OLED, and I've only played like a dozen or so games on OLED. So like all of like the games I could possibly put in like these folders and whatnot, none of them are there. I was gonna emote and I forgot. Yeah, so I don't have any games to put into these folders because I just don't have any games on the OLED. I have, again, like a dozen or so. So I just don't, and I don't have any of the streaming softwares or anything. So I see no reason to do folders for myself at the moment. But I think it is, at the end of the day, a good feature. I think it is a good idea that the Switch have folders. I like that. That's important, right? People have really wanted it. And for some people, that's going to be a good thing. Like I said, I've seen people do like Zelda games, and there's been a Zelda game every year for the past, 5 years? Well, not including this year, but yeah, Nintendo has been trying to consistently put Zelda games out on Switch. So that makes sense. Same thing with Mario games. I know there's a ton of Mario games. Like, I can see organizing stuff like that, but yeah. The only one I would actually do is like Jackbox Party Pack, because I think I have all of the even number Jackbox Party Pack games on Switch. Not the odds, only the evens. Why? I couldn't tell you. Honestly, there is no discernible reason that I skipped over 5 and 7. I just did. Oh, and the first 3 I have on PC. I think 4 was the first one I bought on Switch, and we're up to 8. And I think they've already announced that 9's coming out later this year. Because of course they did. Oh, come on, Hippo, make it. Oh, I don't know if you made it. Oh, they did. I think they did. But yeah, so that's cool. Our folders are cool. Themes, again, I probably wouldn't use them. If you've ever seen my Switch theme, even though I know people who use the white theme on Switch are called heathens, I'm one of the people who uses the white theme on the Switch. Specifically on the OLED, because, you know, the OLED is black and white. And so I was like, oh, you know what, I guess I'll use the white theme to match, right? The Joy-Cons and the dock and everything. And, yeah, on the original Switch, I used the, black and white, but, yeah. Or I used the black. But, yeah. Oh my god, I don't even remember what the story was. But yeah, so folders on Switch, cool. Maybe they'll add themes next year, right? We seem to get one feature a year, so maybe we'll get lucky and get that next year. Probably not, but you never know. Because, I mean, the previous year we got Bluetooth audio. Again, and these are things that have always been possible on Switch since day one. It's just Nintendo took 4 years to give us folders and 5 years to get us Or 4 years to get us Bluetooth audio and 5 years to get us folders. Because Nintendo, you know? So, the next story I have here is Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed. I have no idea what this is. I don't remember if this is a book, a movie, a video game. I'm gonna guess it's a video game. I don't think it's an AR game, because Ghostbusters did an AR game that failed. I don't remember what that game was called, but Ghostbusters had a failed AR game. So I'm going to assume this isn't an AR game. I know there was a Ghostbusters video game back on like the Xbox 360 that actually got remade like 2 years ago. That was actually pretty decent from what I remember. But I'm pretty sure, yeah, they announced a new like Ghostbusters video game. And I think James and Elise Willems are writing on it, you know, from Kinda Funny. So I know for somebody out there, that's going to be a big deal, right? James and Elise Willems are pretty funny people. So getting them to write your Ghostbusters video game, okay, I know Greg Miller's probably excited for this, but I legitimately don't remember. Like, I don't remember if it's like an MMO or an RPG or like an action game. I don't remember what they've told us. There is actually a Ghostbusters tabletop game, if you've... Yeah, you know, because, you know, tabletop games, like D&D, yeah, they made a Ghostbusters tabletop game. And I actually think that's very neat. I haven't played it, obviously. I just think that's neat. I've watched some YouTube videos on it back in the day. It's probably a decent system, hopefully. I think it's got, like, I think there's, like, a brownie point thing. That was pretty broken, if I remember correctly. But... yeah, no. This was right when I was on the fringes of getting into D&D before I... No, honestly, that's not... Back before I'd even listened to, like... I think at the time I'd heard, like, the Yog Pod D&D episode, or in the, maybe the first few episodes of Crit Juice. But yeah, so yeah, I have no idea what this is. I don't remember any of the specific details, other than this is a thing that existed, and I'm sure people are excited for it. Or I'm sure Greg Miller is excited for it anyways. Oh my god. Okay. Okay, give me a second, I'm focusing here. Oh, god damn it. I don't think I could have gotten that. Yeah, because that person still had way more space. Because I would have landed right there, and I would be out of space by now. Yeah, no, I wouldn't have gotten that. But yeah, so yeah, I honestly don't, I know I was going to talk about this, but I have no idea how I did that. I just don't remember anything from this, honestly. Again, this is like a 2-week-old story. Next up is GTA Plus. So GTA 5 finally came out on Xbox and PlayStation, Xbox Series X and PS5. You know, the GTA has been released more times than Skyrim. Straight up, I'm pretty sure it has. Because Skyrim has also been released on all those systems as well. And if Skyrim has an edge over GTA, it's only because it's on Switch and it's on Amazon Alexa. And I don't think GTA 5 has been on either of those things. Or, yeah. And it blows my mind that GTA isn't on Switch. Honestly, with how many, like, niceties Nintendo's made, it blows my mind that GTA 5 isn't on Switch. Because again, it's an Xbox 360 game. And the Switch can run Xbox One. I mean, the Switch is as powerful as an Xbox One. It can totally run a base Xbox One, I should add. But it can totally run a lot of these new games. So, yeah, I'm blown away GTA isn't on Switch. Honestly, Like, not that I would play it, because fuck GTA. The microtransactions in GTA are ridiculous. The shark cards, everybody loves to call out EA and Activision Blizzard and Ubisoft. Okay, people don't really call out Ubisoft, but definitely they love to call out EA and Activision Blizzard for their microtransactions. We don't call out 2K enough for their microtransactions. Whether that be the literal casino in NBA 2K21, that again was no hyperbole. That's not like a joke or anything. The game literally had a casino in it, right? And we just don't call that out enough. And then there's the shark cards in GTA 5, which are pretty bad. Like, there are things in GTA 5 that cost a lot of money. They constantly add, like, new missions and whatnot to the game, but those new missions cost, like, $1 million, $1 or $2 million to, like, play. And, like, I guess you can get the money for it, but you gotta do a lot of missions. So, yeah, no, I think all the mission stuff in GTA is bullshit. Right? The shark cards, like, I get it. Like, okay, right, you're adding all this new stuff to the game. You gotta make money on it somehow. But the shark card, it's just scummy. And now they're making it even worse because they've announced, as part of this, GTA Plus, which is going to be a monthly subscription service where every month you pay like $5 and it gives you like money and whatnot. It adds new stuff to the game. I don't know all the specifics. I don't know exactly what it gives you. But I know it, right, it's basically like a monthly subscription service. And I fucking said this was coming. I'm not James Stephanie Sterling. I'm not the Cassandra of video games. They are. But I fucking saw this coming. I said this was going to happen eventually. I actually called this one. Because I installed a mobile game one day. And I've played it. And then after playing it, like, for like an hour or so or whatever. Basically, when I ran, it was one of those stupid mobile games that had like a life system, right? Where it's like, oh, you recharge a life every hour, or you could pay microtransactions to get a new life, right? It was one of those games. So I played for like an hour, and then it presented me with like the option to like pay to get more lives back. But it didn't just present me with like pay a microtransaction to get more lives. No. It presented me with a subscription service where for $12 a month, and that's an exact number. That number is burned into my head. For $12 a month, and it might have even been like more frequently than that. There is a chance that it was like $12 a week. I don't think it was, but it might have been but like there's a part of me that's like, I remember the amount, but I don't remember if it was daily or weekly. That thinks that like, oh no, they were actually like, it might have been a weekly thing, but I'm too uncertain about that. But it was a subscription service in a mobile game to get like more lives and whatnot, right? And it was just like, that's scum. This wasn't even a good mobile game. Like, I saw that and I think I immediately uninstalled it. But yeah, and this was 2-3 years ago now, and I was like, yep, that's the future of video games. It's not, I mean, I know technically things like World of Warcraft have done that already, but I was like, this is the future of microtransactions. No, they're getting all the same stuff they would give you in a microtransaction. Because, at least with things like Final Fantasy XIV or World of Warcraft, you're paying the subscription service, but you're getting the full game. I think. I'm pretty sure you're getting the full game. Whereas this, you still have to buy the game, and then you have to buy that monthly subscription service. Or, it's a mobile game where you're buying a monthly subscription service. And I was just like, yep, nope, this is going to happen, and here we are. It finally happened. And again, I know there's something about like how you can get GTA 5 or GTA Online for free on PlayStation right now. Doesn't fucking matter. This is still scummy as hell. And it's going to be a short time when you're paying $60 for a game, and then all game... I mean, like, they're already experimenting with this stuff with, like, battle passes and whatnot. Like, one day, I'm horrified... I almost called it Shy Guys. Fall Guys is going to have a battle pass that you have to pay money for. You know, kind of like how Fortnite does it. That worries me, right? I think that's one day going to happen, sadly. Or there's going to be the normal battle pass, and then there's or season pass or whatever, and then there's going to be the extra season pass that, you know, you pay money for. And I'll say, like I said with Fortnite, I was way more inclined to give Fortnite my money. I never did, but I was more inclined to do so because Fortnite was a free game. If they had made a separate game that was just GTA Online, that was free in perpetuity, I would be more inclined to be like, yeah, I'd give them the benefit of the doubt. If Fall Guys had gone fully free to play, I'd definitely be more willing to give them the benefit of the doubt. But because it's a full $60 game, no, they don't get that benefit of the doubt. Right? I already don't like the microtransactions in this game. Because Fall Guys has microtransactions in it. And I hate them. Luckily, you can't get microtransactions for crowns, which is nice. But I still don't think I still don't like the microtransactions. But yeah, so this GTA 5 Plus or whatever, yeah, I don't like it. I do not like it at all. But this is the future of video games, so stick in. The industry is shit. It's rotten to the core, and the only way to save it is to burn it down. Oh gosh, Amazon employees in New York unionized, I think yesterday. Fantastic news. That's so good. I hope, because when Alabama failed to unionize, it was like, oh no. Oh, that sucks. But New York's unionized. I hope this dominoes. And before long, the rest of the entirety of Amazon staff is unionized. They're gonna try to fight it. Barack Obama is going to try to stop it. But no, I hope Amazon fully unionizes. There's nothing to be lost from them unionizing. It's better for us, it's better for the employees, and it fucks over Jeff Bezos. And fuck Jeff Bezos. He deserves nothing less than the worst we could possibly give him. Because fuck Jeffrey Bezos. Oh. Oh, sucker. Give me a second, I'm focusing on this. Okay, I'm gonna let him get that one. It's about taking strategic losses. Oh, it was the one behind us. Is he giving up? Yeah, he's giving up. I salute you, soldier. Okay, yeah, okay, that went great. Next up, yeah, okay, we got, okay, let's actually talk about the good news before we get to the bad news. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe has officially been given a release date of April 27th, so later this month. Oh, I was expecting a tail tag, or whatever that one's called. Stanley Parable is one of is probably the best walking simulator, or what we call walking simulator. Stanley Parable is a fantastic game. I did a Let's Play of it. What year is it? Maybe 2017? I Let's Played the game years ago. And it's a really good, really fun game. It's very well written. It's a good walking simulator. Right? It's like, I know people like to say walking simulators are the worst thing ever. I don't entirely agree with that. But Stanley Parable is a good one. Right? It's just really good. It's really fun. It's funny. It's interesting. So yeah, I like the Stanley Parable, and they announced that it was getting a PC port or it was getting ported to console, and it was going to get an upgraded edition years ago. You know how long ago it's probably been since I've played the Stanley Parable? In the Stanley Parable, there's an achievement to not play the game for 5 years. It was probably long enough ago that I can get that play the game 5 years ago achievement. Maybe not right now, but maybe by like the end of the year. I can probably get that achievement. To not play the game for 5 years. Yep. There's also one achievement you can only get. You get an achievement specifically for hacking the game to get the achievement. Right? Because you can use console commands to get the achievements. But yeah. So yeah, expect that in Ultra Deluxe, that's for sure. But yeah, so the Ultra Deluxe has been announced. It's coming to PC and consoles. I'm really excited for it. I think it's a great idea. I've been waiting a while for it. And now here it finally is. And you know what? Hopefully it'll be great. I have hopes that it'll be good. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna focus here. Oh my god, we actually won that one. That is the first time I've ever won a game with thin ice. I am so bad at that one. Oh my gosh, we actually won one tonight. Yay! And yeah, we won one talking about a game I love. But no, seriously, the Stanley Parable is a fantastic game. When it comes out later this month, if you've never played it, I highly recommend you pick it up. Oh, look at our Bunger gets a crown. Made some crown points, yeah. I've got so many crowns. And I never spin them as well. Like, I never buy the costumes or anything. Well, because we are a dedicated donut. But yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, so Stanley Parable, Ultra Deluxe, pick it up. It comes out February 27th because Stanley is employee number 427. And it's just like, that's the timing thing. It did take forever. Again, this was announced at the Game Awards in like 2019, right before like COVID hit. So yeah, it's been a while. Maybe even a year. Maybe it was even the Game Awards 2018, but I think it was 2019. Because there was jokes about it. It must have been 2018 actually, because it was the same year The Last of Us was going to come out, and The Last of Us was supposed to come out 2019, and then it got pushed to 2020, and then it got pushed because of COVID. From like April to like June or something like that. But yeah, no, it's been a long time since Ultra Deluxe was announced. They had confirmed last year that it was coming out this year, and April 27th is that's a fitting release date. And of course I'm gonna buy it again, right? I've got to get that achievement. I can't play the PC version again. I need to get that not play the game for 5 years achievement. I think I have literally every other achievement in that game, except for maybe that one, and there's like one specific like console command one that I don't think I ever, like the one I said that was like, oh, you have to cheat at the game to get the achievement. I'm pretty sure I have every other one. Yeah, no, I'm definitely going to be picking it up again. Will we stream it? I don't know, maybe. Again, I streamed it originally back in the day. I don't know, it's definitely more, I definitely could see that being like a not great streaming game because it's very narrative driven, and like I feel like it's more one of those things that you should really experience like on your own or whatever with like a right you know like I stand by there are certain games that are just better to play like on your own than watch a stream, even though and like there are some games that I praise like Minecraft because everyone plays them differently, right? Everyone plays Minecraft differently. But Stanley Parable, yeah, sure, everyone's going to choose different endings, and there are some good reactions. Like, it makes some good highlight videos, but I don't know if it's a good stream game. I don't know. Maybe it is because of, right, the specific, like, what moments. But again, most streamers, you know, worth their dollars for donuts have probably already done it. I mean, if I did it, oh god, you know, people way, like, a million times bigger than me have done it. Okay. So, on to the bad news. So, the first bad news is Breath of the Wild 2. Breath of the Wild 2 had been scheduled to release this year, and that's all Nintendo was saying. They were saying progress was coming along good for the game, and we'd see it later this year. We had all been predicting E3. Well, it's is it Aonuma? Aonuma? I think it's Aonuma. Came out and said that while they're still working on development of the game, they have decided to push it until 2023. Specifically spring of 2023. So I'm going to bet right now it's going to come out March 3rd, 2023. Or whatever the Friday around March 3rd is, right? So whatever that Friday is, that's when the game's going to come out. It'll be the Switch's 6-year anniversary. It'll be Breath of the Wild's 6-year anniversary. That's when I'm going to guess it's going to come out. Maybe it'll come out the same time as a Switch Pro. Maybe a Switch Pro will come out later this year. Who knows? But honestly, I fucking hate that Miyamoto quote. Right? There's this famous Miyamoto quote about how, like, oh, a delayed game is bad, or a game that's released bad will stay bad. A delayed game can, like, eventually be good. Or whatever the fuck the quote is. Whatever the quote is, and I don't particularly care for the specifics, like, the sentiment is a good one, right? Like, I like the sentiment behind the quote. My problem is it has been so fucking overused. Because games get delayed all the time. And because games constantly get delayed, it constantly gets used. So I fucking hate that quote so much. I'm so tired of hearing about it. And I think it does, and this goes for Nintendo as well, as every other studio, I'm tired of them announcing games too early. Modern games just get announced way too fucking early. And when they clearly need years in the oven. I do not think a game should be announced more than a year before its release date. That's why I liked, was it Fallout 4? Fallout 4 was announced and released in this same year. Technically Fallout 76 was as well. And I'm sure there are other examples, right? Like, I know that's not the only one. But I am so tired of, right, Cyberpunk, Starfield. These games get announced years before they release. And even a lot of these games also, they get released and then they're not ready to play for at least another 2 years. Right, Cyberpunk released in 2020. It was only actually, like, playable as of, like, February of this year. Technically it released 2 years ago. It could only be actually played this year. It was a buggy mess. Yeah, I know people played it and they got fine with it, but you get my point, right? There are games nowadays have release dates, and then they have play dates, right? The day where you can play them. I think that's a Penny Arcade term. It might not be Penny Arcade, but it's one of those things. Maybe it's Giant Bomb, one of them. right? They coined that term of like a release date and a play date. Maybe Mega 64. One of those right gamer outlets coined that term, and I totally agree. Again, and some companies are better at this than others. PlayStation usually is pretty good at it. Nintendo's pretty good at it, even though Nintendo has gotten a little sloppier. Now, with Nintendo, I will say, at least always their games are playable. Like, I cannot think of a Nintendo game that has just had an absolutely game-breaking amount of bugs. I mean, sure, I know, I can think of games that have had, like, one major bug, but that was, games have had major bugs in them before. Right? That was different. Like, the stuff like Cyberpunk, right, that's different. Was Marvel's The Avengers broken? Fallout 76 definitely was. But I will also say with that Miyamoto quote is, while it is true, it's also kind of not true anymore. Because games like No Man's Sky have come out, been terrible at launch, and then been fixed and actually are pretty good nowadays. So yeah, games have released, come out bad, and have been fixed. And admittedly, No Man's Sky is the only exception I can think of, because I will not defend Fallout 76. I've played it finally, and no. No, fudge that game. Not the worst game I've ever played. But no. So yeah, that's the big thing there. But I'm tired of that Miyamoto quote. But it's technically right? Like, technically it's true. But, we were talking about Breath of the Wild, right? Now, so as part of the delay, we got a new piece of footage of Link holding the Master Sword, and the Master Sword is just completely broken, right? Like, the top of it has just been destroyed. And I know, right, a lot of this game takes place in the sky. Is Fi gonna come back? Are we going to see the return of everyone's least favorite tag-along character, Fi? It's totally possible. I mean, the Master Sword's broken, we're going back up into the sky. It would make sense. Oh, we're not going to qualify. I'm stuck right here. Yep. So yeah, it's possible. But, it is cool that we got at least one new shot of it. We still don't have an official name. Yeah, we still don't have an official name for the game. It's just the sequel to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. There was some, like, leaked name or something like that I saw. That was, like, this is the supposed leak name. I don't remember what that name was, though. It was, like, Breath of the... Not Essence, but it was something, like, Breath of... Like, a Breath of... Not Fresh Air, but it was something along those lines. It used Breath of in it. I don't believe it, but that's the rumor, right? That, we're getting a new... That's like the name, something along those lines. If it happens, okay, Because they have said the reason they haven't revealed the name is because it's a spoiler. But, it sucks the game's delayed, but I'm sure, again, when it comes out, it's going to be cool. And it is nice. This is dumb. But the Game Awards, because award shows don't actually matter. But this year, Elden Ring's going to sweep the Game Awards. We all know it's going to sweep the Game Awards. So having Breath of the Wild come out next year gives it actually a chance to stand on its own. Right? It doesn't have to compete with Elden Ring. Like, if it was just Horizon Zero Dawn, it'd be get it out this year, it'll defeat Horizon Zero Dawn easy. It did it once before. But no, Elden Ring's gonna sweep the Game Awards this year. Let it sweep the Game Awards. I have no problem. I gotta play it at some point over the summer. Because I did not play Dark Souls. I know I said I was gonna play Dark Souls after I finished Kirby. That hasn't happened yet. Might still happen sometime in the near future, but it hasn't happened yet. And part of me is like, should I just play Elden Ring? Should I just go straight to Elden Ring, and if I like it enough, play Dark Souls? But, nah, I still kind of want to play Dark Souls. I don't know. I've had Dark Souls in my PlayStation for like 2 months now. What else? And with Nintendo's like holiday season, you know, they've still got Pokemon. Pokemon's gonna be this again. If Scarlet and Violet learn from Legends Arceus, this has the potential to be the best Pokemon game ever made. Because with just a few improvements, Legends Arceus could be the best Pokemon game. And if Scarlet and Violet learn from that and make those improvements, yeah. Which, again, it's still crazy that 2 Pokemon games are coming out in 1 year. Right? 2 mainline games. I know some people have argued that Legends Arceus is not a mainline game. It's a mainline game. No, it totally is. Oh, I missed it. Yeah. So yeah, and a lot of people are, since Nintendo wanted to, you know, put out one Zelda game every year, this delay might have ruined that plan. But people are also hoping that they announce that the remakes of Wind Waker and or Twilight Princess, preferably both, a collection with both games would be a fantastic deal. Fans would absolutely love it. I think that'd be the right way to go. I know they could also remake Oracle of Ages and Seasons. If they do remake Oracle of Ages and Seasons, put it on one cartridge. That better be one game, right? If they try to sell you 2 games on like the same day, no, you can't get away with that anymore. Now, of course, people are still gonna buy it. I mean, I'd probably still buy it, but no, fuck that. Again, I'm a slave to Nintendo. But the hope is that, you know, Twilight Princess and Wind Waker, they're some of the only Wii U games not on, right, that are on Switch that aren't on Switch. So if we finally get them to Switch, that would be a big deal. So maybe that finally happens. Maybe around E3 they announce that, and maybe we actually get some more information on Breath of the Wild sequel around E3, or at least in June. Because, as our next story, E3 has been officially canceled. You know, there was a lot of talk about whether or not E3 was actually going to happen this year. Because it happened last year, but, you know, it was kind of a mess overall. So it was like, oh, is it going to happen again this year? And no, it was officially confirmed that no, it is not. Jeff Keighley is still doing his Summer Games Fest. And I even said at the time that I think Summer Games Fest was at least more interesting than, like, the general conference of E3. Right. So will something actually happen? Well, we shall see. Oh, God damn it. Okay, I don't know. I know pipe colors indicate something, but I don't remember what. Did we take blue or purple last time? Okay, so I think we're taking purple. But yeah, so my hope is, you know, just get something good from... something good around E3 time. We're gonna have Jeff Keighley's Summer Games Fest. Maybe Nintendo... Because Nintendo stayed out of Jeff Keighley's Summer Games Fest. But maybe he finally gets involved... with Nintendo, you know, maybe Nintendo finally gets involved with the Summer Games Fest shenaniganery. You know, again, because it's like E3, but it's just a little different. And again, I feel like in the modern age of the internet, we don't need E3 anymore, but I still think it's important to get all the companies to, like, put on a showcase around the time. Like, we don't actually need the ESA to hold, like, a convention. We just need that one time of year where, like, oh, for this 1 week, every gaming studio is going to hold, like, a conference announcing their new stuff. We don't need showrooms or anything. We just need that one thing, and that's good enough. And I feel like if that's all done through, like, Jeff Keighley Summer Games Fest, where it's just like, hey, for 3 days, you tune into Jeff Keighley Summer Games Fest, and you watch the stream. Journalists don't have to go down to the LA Convention Center or whatever, right? It's just everybody watches the stream, and that's good enough. And, you know, one day is Microsoft, one day is Sony, one day is Nintendo. I'd be happy with that. But yeah, E3's dead. Part of me says good fucking riddance. because they doxed a bunch of journalists a few years back. The ESA is a very shitty group that have done a lot of terrible things. Do you remember, I always bring this up, but do you remember Sopa and Pippa from a few years ago? Back in like 2013, maybe even 2011. But back in like sometime between 2013 and 2011, there was this, the US Congress tried to pass these acts called Sopa and Pippa that basically would have destroyed the internet, right? They were all about like copyrighted materials, and they would have destroyed Wikipedia, and basically a lot of groups got, a lot of websites got together and were like, no, we're gonna protest this. Again, I remember Minecraft was one of them. I remember Wikipedia shutting down for a day because it was bad news bears, right? Like, this was not going to end well. And the ESA created those. Yep, the ESA was responsible for those acts because they were all about copyright. And the ESA's job is to protect gaming companies' copyrights and whatnot. I'm leaving out some specific details, but I can tell you right now about like what the acts specifically were, because again, it's been 10-ish years now. But the ESA was behind them. Yep. So yeah, fuck the ESA. They've done some terrible stuff. Good fucking Reddit. It's not like they're going anywhere, because they're still gonna lobby Congress. They still exist as a group to lobby Congress on behalf of game developers, but fuck them. Fuck the ESA. So yeah, go to fucking Reddit. You know, hopefully, again, Jeff Keighley has no association with them, at least not in his like Summer Games Fest thing. So hopefully he can do a better job than they ever could. Because E3, I know E3 is technically a trade show, and some people still act like it is, but E3 is not like CES. It's not a trade show. Do trade shows even really exist anymore, like in the traditional sense? Not really. And I know it's like, oh, well, E3 was always a good time to have a bunch of developers come down, or to have a bunch of like industry people come down and like play the new hot video games and like write stories on them. Because one of the problems with putting out because like, you know, once we got the internet, it's like, oh, you can just put demos online. The problem is those demos can be hacked, and people can get into the source code of those demos and find out all sorts of information on that game. The example I always use is Pokemon. All Pokemon demos have been hackable, and people have found full Pokemon rosters in the demos. So, like, Pokemon have been leaked because of it. That's always just the example I use, however. But now we have cloud streaming and cloud gaming. And I feel like cloud gaming is a good way to do demos. And those can't be hacked. So, like, all those demos that and I feel like Microsoft should take the initiative. Because, you know, they've got Game Pass, they've got xCloud. If Microsoft were to take the initiative and be like, hey, for the week of E3 after our conference, we're going to do all the demos we would normally do on the show floor. They're all going to be streamable on your Xbox One starting now, including the first ever demo of Starfield. Right? And make those streamable for just a few days, like maybe a week. And yeah, that would be huge. And that would earn Microsoft a lot of good, especially getting like a Starfield one. And again, it'd be the same one they normally show around E3, or that they would show like two like journalists and whatnot, but now the entire public can do it. That would be huge. And Microsoft has full control over it because it's all done through cloud streaming. That's, I think, the future. Will that actually happen? Who knows? But I feel like there's a lot of potential there for something. Something exactly. Yeah, E3 is dead. Good riddance. Again, we'll see. We'll see how places adapt, because Nintendo was one of the few companies that actually stuck by E3. They were maybe not the only company, but definitely one of the few. We'll see how things adapt. But definitely, I think just getting that one showcase a year around that one specific time would earn a lot of goodwill. Oh, shoot. So there's our two thingies of news. One good, one bad, one kind of bad depending on how you look at it. Again, kind of fuck the ESA. And then our last piece of news tonight is Xbox Game Pass has had a rumor come out that they are going to be doing a family Game Pass. So for potentially, they haven't given a specific price, right? I think the rumor had, I think like $30 a month or something like that. So that'd be the price of like 2 Game Passes. You can get a family Game Pass membership for 5 people. So up to 5 people could use Game Pass. And you could have like a family membership. Now, Nintendo has their family online membership, where for I think it's like $35 a year, you get Nintendo Switch Online for up to 8 people. And I have one of those. I have one I share with, right, it's me, my family members, and a few friends, right? I think I officially hit all 8 people on it. I think last month. Because I had 7 for the longest time, and then I finally, someone else I knew bought a Switch, so we're now up to all 8. And that has been a fantastic plan, right? Now, I didn't buy the new $80 one, which is like $80 for a year now. Fuck that. But the $35 a year, that's good. I'm happy with that. I feel like I've been able to do a lot of online stuff. So yeah, that's been pretty good. And I feel like Game Pass, I can already think of at least 4 people that if they were to announce a family Game Pass, that, right, we'd probably do it. And so I think this idea, especially if they announce it around E3, especially if they release it during E3, would be huge. I love this idea. Oh, this is actually not our final story. I just remembered one that I did not write down here that actually directly relates to Game Pass. Shit, I did not write that down. So I guess we do have one more story after this. Because, yeah, I did not write down PlayStation Game Pass. Oops. But yeah, no, I think this Family Game Pass is a great idea. It's a logical next step. I like the Nintendo thing, even though Nintendo's online still fucking sucks, but I feel like Nintendo's online is right, it makes sense. A Family Game Pass thing would be good. Because, like, there are certain things that just, like, it makes sense to do, like, to pay for, like, a family and just get it cheaper. Cell phone plans specifically are the example I use. I think, right, like, I'm still on my parents' cell phone plan because it's just so much cheaper than having my own. Like, no joke. It's so much cheaper, and it's easier to just be on their plan and pay them instead of, getting my own phone plan with just me on it. So yeah, no, I totally understand these family plans and like how much money they save. I think Costco or Sam's Club does something similar, where like you can get a family plan for like a bunch of people to like get Costco memberships. Yeah, or it's Costco, Sam's Club, one of those. Family memberships, they just kind of make sense. And I feel like Game Pass doing it, yeah, as long as it's not too expensive. Right? Like they say, like, maybe the price of, like, 2 Game Passes a month, or maybe 2.5. Maybe I'd be willing to do, like, $40. That'd be a lot, but, again, it'd be cheaper than buying it for, like, as long as you're doing it for more than 3 people, or 3 or more people, then, yeah, it's more than worth it. But no, I think this is a fantastic idea. So yeah, we'll see. I don't know if they've officially, like, the leak had, like, when they're revealing it or anything, but we know it's happening. Now, so that's a good idea. For a bad idea, we turn to PlayStation. And their PlayStation Plus Premium, Platinum, or whatever it's called. I'm trying to find a tweet. Let me look for a tweet by Nibelion real quick. because I'm sure Nibelion has the specifics. Because I forgot to write down this PlayStation Game Pass thing. I forgot to put it in the notes. So let me see if I can find it real quick. Let's see here. There's the Xbox Family Game Pass, Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. Here it is. No, wait, no, this isn't it. This is the PlayStation Plus lineup for April, which is Battle for Bikini Bottom, which I heard people didn't actually like that much. Hood, Outlaws and Legends, a game I've never heard of, and Slay the Spire, which is a very good game. Also, Persona 5 is leaving the PS Plus collection, which I don't know if that means you have to... If you have it in your library, I think you're good, but if you have a PS5 and you don't have it in your library, make sure to get that in there. And I just completely lost my place. Stupid Twitter. I'm trying to find it, but Twitter just broke out on me real quick. And, you know, I'm trying to Fall Guy. Breath of the Wild delay. Can't believe I forgot to write down PS Plus collection thing. I just completely spaced it. All new PS Plus membership launches in June with flexible membership options. Let's see. So there's Tier 1, which is PlayStation Essentials, which is $9 a month. And it looks like it just allows you to play online. So for those people who just want to play online on their PlayStation and not worry about anything else, boom, this option's here for you. The next tier is PS Plus Ultra, which is... Okay, wait, I'm reading Essentials. 2 monthly download games, exclusive discounts, cloud storage, and online multiplayer. Okay? PS Plus Extra provides all the same benefits as Essential and adds up to 400 of the most enjoyable PS4 and PS5 games, including blockbusters hits from our PlayStation Studios catalog and third-party members. So it looks like this PS Plus Extra gives you like a 400 game library thing. And then Premium gives you all those benefits. And it adds up to 340 additional games. PS3 games via cloud streaming. A catalog of beloved classic games available in both streaming and download options for the original PlayStation, the PS2, and the PSP. Offers cloud streaming access for original PlayStation, PSP, PS2, PSP, and PS4 games offered in the extras and premiums in the market. Limited time game trials. So it looks like the model of like PS Plus that exists right now is still going to be the exact same. It's still called Essentials. That's what I swear there was something about it being like different. Like if you wanted the 2 games a month, you had to get like the extra one, PS Plus Extra. But I guess not. I guess Essentials is right. It's what we have right now. It still works exactly the same. So I guess that's fine. Okay, that's good, I guess. So at least if you have what you currently have, it's not going up in price. Then it looks like for an extra, how much was this? An extra $5 a month, you're getting the next upgrade. And I lost the page again, shit. But yeah, it looks like for an extra $5, you're getting the next upgrade, which has some sort of Game Pass thing. Because they're also getting rid of PS Now. as well. Like they've already stopped selling PS Now codes. I am so bad at tail tag. Oh my gosh. Oh my god, I'm so bad at tail tag. Oh my god, I thought I lost my tail there for a second. I was like, what? Okay, yeah, I'm so bad at this. But yeah, so it looks like you get some sort of offer from paying that little extra. And then for an extra, what, $3 on top of that per month, you get the premium, which gives you PS3 games and all the other, right, PS2 and PSP. Now, the reason the PS4 games are stream only, or PS3 games are stream only, I should specify, if you don't know, the PS3 has an extremely weird, like, architecture. Like, the process of designing PS3 games is extremely weird. And, like, and it's basically impossible. Not to, I think there are PS3 emulators. But I know due to, like, a series of things, it's just really, like, hard to get it to work. And I think the Wii U had similar problems. Which is why you got a lot of, not a lot of people developed for Wii U. Not nearly as bad as the PS3. But yeah, that's one of the reasons why the PS3 games are stream only, is because you can't, like, emulating them like you would like a PS2 game or a PSP game is a lot harder. So that's probably why. Now, so it looks like they'll have this library of like 400 games, and it's not going to be like any, like, so on like Game Pass, Halo Infinite comes out, and you immediately day one get access to Halo Infinite. That's not how it's going to work on this PlayStation thing. So, like, let's say, right, like, if this had been out with Horizon Zero Dawn, or Horizon Forbidden West, I mean, you would not be able to play Horizon Forbidden West on this new service. Right? You would have to wait an unspecified amount of time. They haven't actually said, but it's something like that anyways. So, yeah, they're not putting, like, one of the real benefits of Xbox has just been that you got games day one, right? Like, that's one of the really cool things about Game Pass, right? Like that new game Tunic that just came out. They're day one, and that's really cool. So, but it looks like, yeah, this PlayStation isn't gonna have that, which does kind of suck. So this program is filled with like a bunch of asterisks. Like, there is some good here, definitely. But there is a lot of asterisks. Like, there's a bunch of, like, well, it's good, but... yeah, but... okay, good, we did make it. I thought I was going to fall off. So, Jim Ryan said about putting day one new games, we feel if we're going to do that with the PlayStation games that we make, or with the games we make at PlayStation Studios, that's a virtuous cycle will be broken. So they're saying, like, they don't want to, like, disrespect their studios or whatever, right? Games that will be available at launch with PS Plus Extra and Premium: Death Stranding, God of War, Marvel Spider-Man plus Miles Morales, Mortal Kombat 11, Returnal. I don't own I own 3 of those games. Well, they technically listed 6, so I own 4. The only ones I don't have are Death Stranding and Returnal, which I do actually want to play Returnal at some point, because I've heard good things about it. God damn it, I hate freaking Twitter. It just, like, I click on the, like, image to, like, zoom in, and when I exit out of the image, it just scrolls me back to the top of the page. So, yes, I'm done with Twitter. Yeah, so like PlayStation, making a service to compete with Game Pass makes sense. The actual implementation of this program seems kind of hit and miss for people. Like, I know some people are going to really like this. Other people, personally, I don't think I'm going to do it. Kind of like with that, I know it's crazy that this upgrade to get this PlayStation Game Pass costs less than Nintendo's upgrade. Like, because I think Nintendo services went up like, it wasn't $10 a month, but it was like something wild like that. Right, Nintendo services for the N64 games was a crazy price jump. This is $5, whereas like it could have been like 20, and I know Game Pass is also like 14 or something like that. I don't remember how much Game Pass Ultimate is actually. Now that I think about it, my Game Pass actually runs out this month. I've had it, and I really haven't used it. I'm going to play Tunic. Definitely before it runs out, I'm going to play Tunic. I'm probably going to I was actually going to download it right before I started the stream today. But yeah, no. Game Pass is still the best deal in gaming. Even after seeing this, I still stand by Game Pass is the best deal in gaming right now. Like, God, it still blows my mind how Microsoft went from being this joke to having, with the release of Game Pass, having fully redeemed themselves. Eventually, it's going to go sideways. Netflix was this amazing deal as well, and then everyone wanted a piece of the pie, and now the pie's no good no more, dog. The pie's no good. So, yeah, because Netflix fucking sucks. I think we all agree on that. Netflix kind of sucks nowadays. And they put their prices just went up again recently, so yeah. But yeah, again, I think this is fine. It's not. I probably won't use it, but because I've got so many things I gotta play on PlayStation anyways. Does that bean even have a face? I couldn't see your face because it looked like it didn't. It was just like entirely black. So I think that's the last bit of news I have, this PlayStation thing. So moving on to our next segment, what have I been enjoying? Well, so since then, I think this happened right before Animal Crossing ended. The Mario Kart DLC came out. And I played the Mario Kart DLC. Oh, they're putting us in fall ball. Just you watch, they're putting us in fall ball right now. So the Mario Kart DLC came out, I played the Mario Kart DLC, and I enjoyed it. Well, after Animal Crossing ended, I was like, I just want to play more Mario Kart. And I still didn't Penguin Pursuit. Okay, this might not be terrible. Well, so I was like, I want to play more Mario Kart. And I didn't have 3 stars, right? Gold trophy 3 stars, and all 200cc. And I was like, you know what? Maybe it's time I bunker down, relearn how to play 200cc, because 200cc, right, plays very differently, in my opinion, than 150. Right? Like, all my strategies that work good in 150 no longer work in 200cc. So I was like, maybe it's time I bunker down, learn how to play 200cc, and hopefully everything turns out well. So I did some learning, some strategizing. Specifically, I went and looked up like the current meta of like what's the best cart, and I just used that for 200cc. So yeah, whatever. So the best cart, which is Wiggler wheels, or which is Wiggler cart and blue wheels. I used Rosalina, who's always my character. Right, so I used the same character, but other than that, I played exactly I played the best cart and the best thing, and then I relearned how to drift and everything. And yeah, it took me a little bit. It definitely took me a little bit to like get on the ball, but once I did, I did fantastic. It took me a little bit, but I was finally able to do 200cc The one course that took me forever was the Crown Cup. The Crown Cup in 200cc was a fucking nightmare. And it was one of those things where I could do all of the races individually. So like individually, I could get first place in all of the races, but on my own, it was just I couldn't get them all in a row. And it would be like, oh well, I did the first one, I failed Dry Ruins or whatever it's called. Then I did Bowser's Castle and I did Rainbow Road. Or then I'd do the first 3, and then I'd screw up Rainbow Road. In 200cc, the first 2 turns of Rainbow Road, right where you go around in the circle and then you come back before getting on the glide thing, I still have never hit in both of those without falling off. I can consistently hit one without falling off, but and it originally started with me like falling off both times. And then eventually I got good enough where I could make one and then fall off the other. But I never got good enough to make both. I had to learn to, brake when I drift. I beat all of 200cc without brake drifting, with one exception, which was that last course. I was able to do everything else except for that one. So yeah, that was a pain in the ass. That's for sure. But I had my work cut out for me, that's for sure. But after not 100 attempts, but after like a good like dozen attempts in like who knows how many hours, I was finally able to get all 4 races perfect, and I was able to get the 3 stars in I was able to get all 3 stars. So that took forever, and with that I was able to get 3 stars in the new cups, and everything worked out. Took forever, but yeah, because that Crown Cup, man, that Crown Cup was a nightmare. But after I did that, everything else kind of worked out. And yeah. And I eventually walked away from Crown Cup for a little bit and was like, oh, well, I got to do something else. And then I came back to Crown Cup, and then I did it. Yeah, we destroyed. I'm pretty sure they gave up early on. But yeah, so I now have 3 stars in every course in Mario Kart, right? 250cc down. Yeah, I honestly, part of me wonders if I will, because I used to be really good at Mario Kart. No Drift King, right? I wasn't a Drift King. I don't have Suck Off the Devil skills, which are skills you get from sucking off the devil. But I was still really good. And I don't know, and now that I don't know if I'll ever have those skills again. But I enjoy Mario Kart so much. I played it, because, it's been like 2 weeks. My father likes Mario Kart, right? He really enjoys it. So I was like, hey, there's new Mario Kart maps. So on like Sunday night dinner, I brought over Mario Kart, and we played. And there's a video on YouTube. You can find this. Just look up, worst kart in Mario Kart. And someone made a video that was like, what's the worst kart in Mario Kart? And the combination is Bad Wagon, Metallic Wheels, and I don't remember the glider. I think it's the default. It's either the default glider or the golden glider, or something like. I think it's golden glider. But I was like, oh, okay. If that's the worst combination in Mario Kart, then I'll just use that, because I always win, right? I always win all 4 races. So I was like, yeah, I'll use my character. So I didn't use the worst character, which is like Baby Mario. But I used my character, and I used all the worst items. And yeah, no, I didn't, I still won a fair few of them, but I didn't win all of them. Right? So I've definitely, you know, make it, I've intentionally nerfed myself to try to make the game more fun for my family. But they don't know that. I mean, they didn't know I did that. I just did that on my own. Oh no! God damn it, I blew it right at the end. But yeah, I know, so I intentionally nerfed myself. And yeah, and I lost a few. And the other nice thing that I will also put... So, Mario Kart Deluxe has those two features where you can auto-accelerate, and then it has that steering thing that will, like, keep you from falling off the track. My mother falls off the track all the time in Mario Kart. So, without telling her, really, she knew she had auto-acceleration on. She didn't know she had that not fall off the track thing, and she had a lot of fun. Like she was like, "Oh, I'm not falling off the track as much," so she enjoyed it a lot more. Not knowing that, right? The reason she wasn't falling off the track was because she had that thing on. So, like, I know, right? It's a great feature for like accessibility, but even for like little things like that, it's like no, that made the game infinitely more enjoyable for her. So I still, like, I've always kind of stood by that as an accessibility feature, but even not as an accessibility feature. That's very nice for, you know, an option for her. And while I'm not going to say, like, she won every race or anything, she did a lot better. She'd come in, like, 12th. Now she was coming in, like, 4th or 5th. You know, it was going a lot better. So yeah, that was great. Mario Kart 8, like, I want a Mario Kart 9 eventually, but I think these DLC tracks are cool, and I think Mario Kart 8 is still the best game in the series. I know people like Double Dash's style. Nah, 8 is the best, and I want a Smash Bros. Kart eventually, a Super Nintendo kart, but I still think Mario Kart 8 with all these new tracks and everything, and it's gonna get me coming back to the game every 2 or 3 months, basically, and, you know, bringing it over to play with my family every 2 to 3 months. There's a lot here that the game offers. So yeah, I think this is great. So what else have I been doing? What else have I been doing? We've been doing Kirby, which I know I've talked about before, or which we're doing on stream, so I'm not going to talk about that, other than I am really enjoying it. Maybe tomorrow we'll be back and we'll finish it. I don't know, I have a paper due tomorrow, and I have not even started it yet. So I have to finish that at some point. But maybe I'll try to do it early, and we'll then do Kirby after that, or maybe I'll do Kirby first and then I'll write the paper. I don't know. It's due tomorrow, and I gotta get it. I think it's due tomorrow at like 7 or something like that. It's not due at midnight. For, you know, most colleges, you know, they do a paper due at midnight. Now this one's due at it's like 7 or it's something weird. Maybe it's 9, but it's something like that. It's not the longest paper I've ever written or anything. It's just very formulaic. Yeah. Anything else? Like I said, I didn't play Dark Souls. I feel like I played a Switch game and I'm forgetting what it was. Still been wanting to play Mario Odyssey, but I haven't done that. I almost played Mario 64 and I ended up not doing that. Oh, you know what we can talk about? I saw Morbius. I saw Morbius opening night. I was not, I've seen a bunch of stories on Twitter about how Morbius theaters have been completely empty except for, like, one person. That was not my experience. There were, I think, 7 other people in the theater. There was a group of 3 and a group of 4. So yeah, my theater wasn't completely empty, but it also was not full, like, at all. And again, this was an opening night showing. So let that tell you how people are seeing Morbius. I really hope Sonic does well next week. Or this week, this week, next week. Sonic comes out on the 7th/8th. I really hope Sonic does well. I really hope people go out and see Sonic. Like, I know the reviews are I think around the same as the original movie, but even just from I'm like, this looks better, right? And it looks good. Like, I am actually, like, the first Sonic movie, I was like, it looks okay, And yeah, that was my thoughts on the first Sonic movie. I was like, it looks okay. This new one, I am genuinely excited for. Like, I'm genuinely, like, yeah, I can't wait to see the new Sonic movie. Like, it genuinely looks good. And that makes me happy, right? I want to be excited for it, because it really does look like it's, like, fully going in on, like, this is why Sonic is good. This is a lot of, like, stuff that, like, fans would like. Right? Like, it's, like, one of the big problems with video game movies is that they're constantly embarrassed to be video game movies. Okay, apple, watermelon, cherry. Banana, apple, watermelon, cherry. Banana, apple, watermelon, cherry. Banana, apple. Okay, I have to stop real quick talking about this, and then we'll get back on it. Banana, apple, watermelon, cherry. Banana, okay, we're right here. But yeah, like, video game movies are constantly embarrassed to be video game movies. And this new Sonic movie does not look to be that way. So, this has potential to be good. Okay, banana, grape, apple, orange. 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 Grape. Okay. I don't think that many people got eliminated. But yeah, so I actually hope the Sonic movie does well. Because I think they confirmed they're making a third one. But, like, right now, nothing's doing well in theaters. Unless you're Spider-Man or Batman. Because Batman, I think, broke $700 million today. And Spider-Man is, like, the 5th highest grossing movie of all time. Not adjusting for inflation. So, yeah. I hope Sonic does well. Go out and see Sonic. I know critics don't love it. Fuck the critics. They're very hit and miss. Sonic is... I think it's going to be good. I know it's one of those movies where, like, if you watch the trailer, you see every part of the movie. But for once, I actually don't give a shit. Like, for once, I didn't make that joke where I'm like, oh, well, I guess I've seen the whole movie now. No, for once, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I'm genuinely interested in this one. And they're going to tease Shadow the Hedgehog at the end. Like, I would love for them to do Metal Sonic because I think Metal... If you don't know, I like the idea of nature characters who then have, like, a robot counterpart. Mechagodzilla, Metal Sonic, other examples I can't think of off the top of my head. I know exist. Oh, you asshole. But I am genuinely, like, interested in the Sonic movie, and I want them to... If this one's good, I know they're eventually going to have to get to the stupid stuff in Sonic. Like, don't get me wrong. There is a lot of stupid shit in Sonic. But if this movie's good, right, I have hope that they can make more good ones. And, like, a lot of things that, when the poster for the movie came out, right, they didn't credit the voice actress who plays Tails. And people called them out for it. And you know what they did? They just fucking corrected it. They didn't throw a fit. They didn't do anything. They were just like, you know what? You're right. And then they re-released the poster with the voice actress of Tails, giving her the proper credit. Fucking great. Then they did the Sonic 2 poster, which, yeah, we can also talk about another day, but... No. Right, this movie's been doing a lot of good things. Hopefully good practices and whatnot behind the scenes. I don't know, it's a movie. That's all hit and miss sometimes. But no, I genuinely have hopes for this to be good. But we were talking about Morbius, right? Morbius was not a good movie. It is not, like, I think it has, like, a 4 on Rotten Tomatoes. It probably actually has a 14. It's not a good movie. It is not that bad of a movie. It's not good. It's not bad. Now, unlike some people, kind of funny, I do not hate the Venom movies. The Venom movies are not like the highest class of masterpieces. They are very much popcorn flicks. They are cheap and easy. They go down like like a margarita. But I enjoy the Venom movies. Both of them. Morbius is probably what people who hate the Venom movies think, right? Pretend like they actually are. Right? It's bad. It's not the worst movie I've ever seen. Not even fucking close to the worst movie I've ever seen. But it's not good either. And, you know, that's important to admit sometimes. You know, a movie can be bad, but not be the worst thing ever. I don't know. Did I get it? Or did the... Oh! Oh! I wonder if I wonder if it gave it both to us, or if it gave it to me and not the axolotl. Oh, that's 2 games in a night. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, so Morbius, bad, not the worst thing I've ever seen. Not a 14%, or like a 1 out of 10. No, I'd probably put it closer to like a 4. I'd put the both Venom movies at a 6. I feel like that's a fair score. That's like, yeah, middle of the road, more good than bad. This is the exact opposite. Middle-ish of the road, but definitely more bad than good. Maybe, it'd probably be a low 4. So, take that however you will, or like a 3.8 maybe, but high 3, but yeah, no, it's bad, but it's not the worst thing I've ever seen. No, I've seen way worse. I've seen Old Fashioned. I've seen God's Not Dead 2. Did I ever see the third one? I know I've seen the second one. Yeah, no, this is... No. I've seen the second Birdemic movie. Like, the first one is like, oh, this is bad. This is funny to laugh at. The second one is just, oh, this is bad. I've seen The Happening with Mark Wahlberg. So yeah, the actual movie itself, I don't think people actually give a shit about spoilers. The one thing I will say, though, that I hope other people are realizing this movie has the exact same plot as The Amazing Spider-Man 2. You know, the movie's so bad, it killed off Sony's Spider-Man universe. Sony had all these plans to make, like, to build up the Sinister Six, right? Make Sinister Six movies. They had all these plans. And then Amazing Spider-Man 2 was so bad. All those plans got dashed, and they ended up lending Spider-Man out to Marvel because their plan, right? Because the movie was so bad, and this is the exact same fucking plot. So, you know, and I'm gonna go over it real quick. So, spoilers for spoilers for Morbius, and spoilers for Amazing Spider-Man 2, I guess. Not that anyone gives a shit about Amazing Spider-Man 2 spoilers, and hopefully nobody gives a shit about this one. But what it is it's this man who, right, Peter Parker has this special, like, this thing that makes him special, right? That makes him Spider-Man. And another character is sick. A character who is like a brother to him, even though they're not biologically related. And the only way for him to cure his illness is with Spider-Man's blood. Same thing with here. Morbius has the special thing that makes him a vampire. And the only way to cure his vampire... so he's got this rare disease, and the only way to cure that rare disease is with vampireness. But he's got there's another character who's sort of his brother, even though they're not biologically related, who has a disease, and the only way to cure it is with the hero's blood, and the hero refuses. Yep. Spider-Man refuses in The Amazing Spider-Man 2, and Morbius refuses here. So the villain, the brother, right, has to take drastic measures and use a special serum on himself, and in the process, he becomes the villain and kills the main character's girlfriend. Yep. Harry Osborn kills Gwen Stacy and turns into the Green Goblin, and in this one, Morbius's brother takes the vampire serum, becomes a vampire, and then kills Morbius's girlfriend. They're the exact same it's the exact same plot. I fucking cannot believe they made that. They did it. They made a movie so bad that it killed their cinematic universe. And then they just fucking did it again. I didn't even put up... I know I have a spoiler tag. I didn't even put it up. I could not... Again, I don't think people care enough. They made a movie so bad, and then they just fucking did it again. And yeah, it's bad. Ooh, I have... Is that a... I wonder if... You know, that would actually be an interesting faceplate in Fall Guys. One that has, like, a multicolored eyes. Like, one eye is one color, one eye is a different color. I don't think a heterochromia one exists. That's actually a pretty cool idea. But yeah, and, like, Morbius, the effects are bad. Like, they're not as bad as, like, that dog in Moon Knight. But they're not good. And, like, the fight scene. Like, so they're trying to use, like, all these, like, smoke effects to show, like, the vampireness. But the smoke effects are just... They make the screen so dark. And then the movie is just dark in general. So the movie's just... So when they're, like, doing the fight scenes with the vampire powers, it's just so dark. You can't see anything. And it's... There's one scene at the end where you just can't see shit. And then there's the whole vampire... Then... Okay, so, right, that's the whole thing. Morbius, living vampire. And, like, you can... Like, I don't think the acting is great, especially from, Matt. Last name I've forgotten. I don't think he does a great job in this. He was Doctor Who, right? Yeah, I don't think he does a great job in this. But, you can tell they're at least trying. But I think the acting is terrible. Honestly. So I was not, overall, yeah, I think it was bad. The ending stuff with the Vulture, which is in the trailers, yeah, the Vulture's not in the movie. Straight up, just gonna say, Vulture not in the movie. So, until, like, the very end. Nope, I was the last one out. If I just had, like, one or two more platforms, I probably could have done it. But yeah, Vulture not in the movie until the very end, where this big crack in the sky opens up, and the Vulture gets sucked from the right, Michael Keaton's tombs gets sucked from the MCU into the this Morbius verse, which I'm just gonna pretend is the Amazing Spider-Man universe. Let's just say it's the same universe as the Amazing Spider-Man. The joke about, like, oh. At first, people thought that who are you? I'm Venom. And then he, like, jokes about it. People thought that joke got cut out of the movie, as did all other references to Spider-Man. That's not true. That Venom joke is in there. It's a little different, but it is still... Because, like, I don't think he says, like, oh, I'm just joking with you. But he does call himself Venom at one point. And then there's a reference to the Daily Bugle. Any other thing of Spider-Man, that one shot in the trailer where you see, like, murderer written in the background on, like, a graffiti of Spider-Man... Nope, not in the movie. But yeah, in that one shot of, right, Adrian Toomes in the trailer, not in the movie. Instead, right, he gets transported from the Tom Holland universe, MCU, into the Andrew Garfield universe. And then at the end, he's like, hey, I think Spider-Man did this to me. Let's work together to defeat Spider-Man. And that's where the movie ends. Morbius never mentions Spider-Man at any point, but now he's going to work with Toomes to defeat Spider-Man for some reason. It makes no Again, we just got a great movie with the Sinister 5 plus a tree, right? And now Sony clearly wants to redo their Sinister 6, right? They had all these big plans, and then those plans got scrapped because they made a movie so bad, and now they potentially made another movie so bad that it's going to kill off future plans, and now theoretically bringing Vulture back is not going to happen because now he's in the Sony universe. Or, you know, the MCU can just retcon that out, but we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, because, like, there's a shot of Oscorp in the trailer, not in the movie. Nope. But yeah, that's all the stuff people... Right, that's all the crossover stuff that people will pretend to care about. I still think, like, they could have just kept Venom in the mainline MCU. Honestly, I would have been fine with that. I think Tom Hardy does a good enough job. Get him a good, right, get him under, like, a good director, and I'm pretty sure he would do a fine job as Venom in the MCU. But nope, he's gone, but hey, the symbiote's still here, so I guess we can build up to Noel, or whatever the hell it's called. I don't know. I feel like I'd never heard of Noel, King of the Symbiotes, until, like, recently. And then there was just a period where he was everywhere. Like, that was, like, all comic book TikTok was talking about. Maybe it's because an event was happening or something, or I don't know. And then I haven't heard much about him since. Yeah. I've never grabbed onto that bar. But yeah, so that's Morbius. No, don't go see it. It's bad. Go see Spider-Man instead. Or, God, I need to see Spider-Man again. I think it comes out on DVD either this week or next week. I know it's already on digital, as it has been for like 2 weeks now. Maybe even 3. It's been a while, that's for sure. But I do want to see Spider-Man again. But no, go see Sonic. Go if you have a choice between seeing Morbius and Sonic, go see Sonic. Even if Sonic isn't like a 10 out of 10 knockout, I can guarantee you it's better than Morbius. Guarantee you. I mentioned Moon Knight real quick. First episode of Moon Knight, I did enjoy. I guess spoilers. Yeah, sure, I'll put up the spoiler tag. Light spoilers. What I liked is that it feels different. First of all, I like that it feels different. But more, I like that, the action. You don't see any of the action. You just see, right, like, I think his name's Steven. I know it's Mark whatever. Mark, is it Summers? It's not Summers. Mark whatever his name is. Spectre? Maybe it's Mark Spectre. Right, he's kind of in the episode, kind of not. It's kind of... They do an interesting thing. But instead, you follow, like, Steven, who works at a museum and all this, right? He's just living, like, a normal, boring life where he's not really respected or anything. And then you just, like, cut, and boom, he's in the middle of an action sequence. But you don't see any of the action, you don't see how he got there. At one point, he's being attacked by people, it goes black, and then next thing you know, it's, he's covered in blood, and, like, 5 people have been killed. And you don't know it, you don't know, like, how or why or anything, and you don't see any of the action. And I like that, because you know, action's always the big thing. But it's one of those things, like, there's this old thing about, like, oh, what's hotter? A girl in like lingerie, or a girl wearing like an oversized t-shirt. And people said, oh, well, the girl in the oversized t-shirt, because you have no idea what's under it. Everything is left to the imagination. And the idea the imagination creates will always be better than the real thing. And that's what this is like. I know that's a terrible metaphor, but that's the only one I can think of. Is that, yeah, anything could have happened during that action sequence for him to get covered in blood and have killed like 5 people. Doesn't matter. Whatever your imagination will come up with is better than what would have actually happened. So I think, like, just doing that, it's very different, and I think it's a good change. I really liked that. And then, of course, you do get the scene at the end where... Because the one thing I kind of remember about Moon Knight is that, like, he fights werewolves or something like that, because... I don't remember all the details, but as, like, part of the comics code, you couldn't show vampires, but you could show, like, werewolves or something like that. So Moon Knight was, like, the guy who fought werewolves. because that was allowed in the comics code, whereas vampires weren't. Or there's some bullshit like that. I don't remember all the details, but there's something. It's something like that, and I know it might not actually be a werewolf. It might be like a hellhound or something, but it looks like something like that. I don't know. I think it looks terrible, but I feel like the scene of him at the end fighting the werewolf hellhound thing is like, yeah, okay. It's a decent enough reveal. I know it's in the trailers. I am curious enough to see where it's going to go from here, right? Like, how are you going to deal with all the different personalities and different versions of Moon Knight? Something I like in the MCU is when they come in and they just like are like, oh, we're not going to give you an origin story for this hero. It's just this hero's right. He's already established in this universe. He's already been doing his job for who knows how long. Who knows how long Mark Spector's been Moon Knight? We don't need to know the details. Or, I mean, we'll find out eventually. I know some people don't like starting in medias res, but no, I think it's super important to start in medias res. Especially because the MCU has done, like, so many origin stories. And we know we're all sick of them. Right? We've known since, Captain Marvel specifically, that we're sick of origin stories. Because people got really pissed off when Captain Marvel was another origin story. And I mean, I know they got pissed off for other things. But, like, one of the potential problems with Captain Marvel is that it was nothing, right, it was another origin story. And, like, people were kind of sick of them by Doctor Strange. So I feel like starting in medias res is a lot better. Like, not knowing the details of, like, where this has happened is more interesting. Now, this isn't a perfect example, but, so I do think this is a good show. Now, the one thing that I do kind of worry about, and this is going to be a weird comparison, is because it's dealing with, like, multiple personalities and whatnot, and, you know, one character knows nothing about the other, and we're starting in medias res, it kind of reminds me of the BBC show Jekyll. Now, I only know very little. I've never seen it, but I know a little bit about it. Not much. If you want to learn more about it, you can always look it up. I don't recommend watching it because it's bad, supposedly. Again, I haven't actually seen it. But I recommend the H. Bomber Guy video on Sherlock. You know, the BBC Sherlock. He talks about, in that video, he talks about Jekyll. And yeah, I think that's kind of the good... And I've seen, like, one other video on it at some point. I don't remember who did that other one, though. But yeah, no, I'd recommend that video on, oh, shit. But yeah, it kind of... Because, like, right, Jekyll starts off in medias res. One of the characters knows nothing about the other character's existence. But, like, there's clearly this whole, like, established thing going on. And there's this big, like, conspiracy theory. Now, Jekyll eventually, like, goes crazy, and the show goes off the rails and everything. And I think even in the show Jekyll, there's, like, a secret family or something. Right? Like, there's all this weird stuff going on. So there is definitely some comparison to be drawn between the two shows. That's for sure. I actually think this is probably where we're going to end off. We could play one more. Let's do one more. Let's do one more. Last game of the night. But yeah, no, Moon Knight's good, but yeah, no, it's just a weird comparison. Like, I can't make it fully because I haven't seen Jekyll, but that's definitely, like, for some reason, like, all those key points, like, matched up in my head. That, at least from, like, what little I know about the show, like, they seem to be the same. So maybe Moon Knight is maybe Jekyll done right. We'll see. We shall see. Anything else I've been doing? Or I've been enjoying? I mean, I'm sure there's other stuff, but nothing I can think of off the top of my head. Oh god, tiptoe. Yeah. Oh, this is still here? Yeah. Okay. Ooh. Oops. I did not mean to hit that. Okay. Yeah, no, yeah, I can't think of anything else. April Fool's Day was yesterday. Only a single thing got me. Only a single thing got me. And it was Dominic Noble, who does the series Lost in Review, which is all about... Or Lost in Adaptation. Not Lost in Review, Lost in Adaptation. Which is all about comparing books to their movie adaptations. And he put out an episode on The Room. And you know, like, there are some people who don't do April Fool's Day jokes, but instead do, like, content that would be, like, kind of, like, mischievous or weird. Right? That are similar to, like, that are just weird topics that, like, you know, that are not technically jokes, but are, like, joke adjacent. Like Joseph Anderson spent the entire day of April Fool's hinting that he was making a video on Elden Ring before, you know, revealing that, oh, guess what? He's actually just making a video on Elden Ring that comes out in a few days. Which, I am curious, but I'm probably not going to actually watch it because I want to play Elden Ring first. It's the same thing with, his video on, it was Hollow Knight. His video on Hollow Knight. I was like, I'm going to play Hollow Knight before I watch that video. Yep. But yeah, and I'm sure there's one other thing. I'm sure there's one other Joseph Anderson thing that I wanted to watch, but I was like, no, I'm going to play the game or whatever first, and I still haven't. It's not The Witcher. It's definitely not that one. But yeah, yeah, so he was hinting at, like, Elden Ring, and then he confirmed that, no, it is real, and it comes out in a few days. But yeah, Dominic Noble put out a video about The Room, and it was like, oh my gosh, The Room is actually based on, like, a book. And I saw the title, and I was like, huh. My first thought was like, oh yeah, that makes, right, that was, like, my first thought, like, you know, it's a weird topic, I guess it kind of makes sense. But then I was like, because I've read The Disaster Artist, and I've seen the movie, but I read the book, or I listened to the audiobook. And I was like, wait, The Disaster Artist isn't based on a book. It's based on a movie, The Fantastic Mr. Ripley. But it's not based on... I don't think that's a book, but it's based on a movie. So I was like, huh. Wait. And then it like, took me a minute to process, and I was like, oh, this is an April Fool's Day. I didn't actually watch the video. I meant to, and I just didn't get around to it. But that was like, oh, this is an April Fool's Day joke. So that was the one that got me. Right? Because I knew The Disaster Artist was based on a movie. So for a second I was like, right, I knew The Room was based on a... whatever. Right? If you read The Disaster Artist, it's a pretty good book. The movie is decent. And never go to a midnight screening of The Room. Like, I feel so bad for theater employees. Because people just leave behind so many... spoons, and they don't, like, at least Rocky Horror Picture Show, when they do the stupid shit, people, at least they're supposed to clean up. Like, that's part of the whole thing, is like, oh, no, you gotta clean up. If you make a mess, you gotta clean it. People don't do that with The Room. They toss spoons around, and then they just leave them. Yeah, I've seen The Room. Yeah, of course. But yeah, and the movie's fine. I don't like how they changed the ending. Right? Because they changed the ending to be like, Tommy Wiseau, like, sees the movie, he's disappointed, right, he's brokenhearted, but then they're like, you know, they're all gonna laugh at you, it's gonna be okay, and he, right, plays along that it's all, like, a joke, like, the worst, like, movie ever made, that it was so bad it was meant to be, like, funny. Yeah, if you read the book, not how it plays out. Nope, he's destroyed by it, and it's only, like, years later, like, once it becomes, like, an internet, like, cult hit, that he finally, like, gives in. Right? But yeah. But yeah, other than that, nothing else. I know, the one joke I think I kind of liked was, Sprite did one where it's, like, McDonald's, where they were like, we finally found a way to can McDonald's Sprite. And I was like, okay, that's kind of funny. Yeah. Yeah, nothing other than that. Yeah, it's April. Honestly, like, I know there's a lot of cynicism around April Fool's Day. I totally get it. The Minecraft thing is interesting. Because one of the thing I will say about the Minecraft April Fool's update, which is getting rid of inventory and instead allowing you to pick stuff up, picking up mobs should totally be a part of the game. I know there's a few mods that do that. Allow us to pick up mobs. Even if there has to be like some special like thing we gotta do that gives us the ability, or like a special item, give us like handler's gloves or something like that. Just that we put in like your shield slot. Give us a way to pick up mobs. Like seriously, that's a great idea. Or in picking up like a single block at a time like an Enderman, also not a terrible idea. The new TNT, like the way TNT explodes differently, that's neat. The problem with Minecraft April Fool's updates is they put all this time into a joke that usually is a good idea, but that's it. They just leave it as a joke. I mean, I know sometimes things break out. Stained Glass was originally in an April Fool's Day update, and then people really wanted it, so they put it in the game. But no, I think being able to pick up animals, I've seen it in mods before, you know, give me some Lion King, but, no, put that in the game. That's a good thing. But yeah, so yeah, Fall Guys, we're actually at level 20, we're, what, working our way to 29 right now, or, because yeah, we got that, so we're working our way to 29 right now. We've actually made some good progress. Honestly, all things considered, I mean, we've still got a ways to go. That'd be a neat one to get. And, of course, getting that. I mean, because, I'll be honest, since In Chat is returning, it's probably going to be a lot more Fall Guys. If I'm going to just be frankly honest. We're probably going to be doing a lot more Fall Guys. We are going to do some Wii Sports when that comes out later this month. I think that's not until, like, the 29th. But other than that, no, the plan is Fall Guys. For In Chat, for at least for a while. Yeah. So I will be back hopefully tomorrow with Kirby. Whether that's before or after I write my paper I need to write, we'll see. But that's my plan at the moment, is Kirby. Because I want to finish it. I don't know if we'll get 100%. Because again, we're not going to get all the figures. But I at least want to take an attempt at like the true arena. I want to get all the upgrades, get all the stars, help out the cheetah thing with the lion. It's a cheetah lion. Is it a something like that? I don't know. We'll figure it out when we get there. But yeah, so maybe we'll be back for that tomorrow. That's my plan at the moment, anyways, because I definitely don't have time on Monday. Oh my god, I'm so fucking busy on Monday. Boo. Boo. Burka. Yeah, no, it's good to play some Fall Guys again. I do really enjoy the game. It's really fun. That Fall Guys, pretty swell game. Well, yeah, well, and we'll see how they screw it up eventually. God, I hope they don't screw it up. Oh, Among Us did a thing with horses, where like all the Among Us like beans turned into horses, and it's like, that's weird, but okay, that's sure, whatever. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I didn't do an April Fool's Day joke this year. I don't think I've done one since Steven Universe is the Worst Show Ever Made, parts 1 of 7. I don't think I've done an April Fool's Day joke since then, but that's just because I can't top that one. That's honestly my best joke I've ever done, and yeah, I don't think I'll ever do one again. Because, you know, I did the whole, oh, I'm quitting YouTube thing back in the day, and nah. That was the one that I put effort into, and I think once you realize it's a joke, it's like, oh, that's kind of funny. And it especially hit during the time. I haven't done anything in years. At least I don't think so. Because that was like 20. God, that was in my old house. And then the panty came and I lost that. Ugh. Yep. It's been a hard month. It's been a hard 2 years. But we're still here, and yeah, In Chat's returning. This is the first of many episodes. Just, you know, same as it ever was. Right back on that old schedule. But hey, Saturday nights now, and hopefully that allows me to be more open with these things. I didn't even talk about board games today. You know, whatever. There's always next week. Saturday will come. But yeah, with that, I hope you all enjoyed. Stay tuned for more. Until next time, peace.